was
video.
rigorous of my decisions. I just wanna see, don't wanna be bothered, but trigger my highs up, looking dimmer. Performing my deeds, stacking the karma, much quicker, keep it calm just like my liquor. Never run out of E, because I empower my listening, thinking it really bickers. Often aside, I just like a fisker when it used to be valid, reject the system. Now something is missing, now other underlying anger is dissing, yeah, good riddance. Yeah, how can I complain when I'm basking in gratitude? Wonderful things, gonna pay for this attitude, all in my brain, yeah. Round and round we go, trying to find my soul. See me beyond this low, I want you right here by my side. Can do this on my own. Older brother got a car that was 26 and 27. He crashed the whip. Thought it was divine punishment, then the bank gave it 28 back. Man, what kind of shit is this? Part of me wanna hear the fit of God's back, cause I was down bad. So about 300 cents if I get back. Can't believe I went through all the pushing any past. Whether he can special treatment when I'm doing all I can. How did I get a path with the arm of a pain so fast? I think about jumping from the trains. How the hell is that? I'm like a person, right? I mean, look at the facts. I got 2 cats, I paid on my tax. I even got the facts. I treat people reasonably well in my past. So cut me some slack.
This would gotta go alive. Alright. Good morning. So, who are you? I want to ask everybody that. Nothing. Interesting answer. First thing in the morning. Why is that the first thing you, what was that first thing that came to mind? It's not that it came to mind, it's just, that's what I see. Every moment. And what does nothing look like? Just pure clarity. Just nothing in the way. That's beautiful. No form. Just awareness. Nothing's in the way. Nothing's in the way. Yes. So how'd you get to that point? Well, I had this experience when I was 7 years old in the Christian church where everyone was explaining the nature of God from a book. And then I wanted to ask a deeper question, and then nobody could answer it. And then I asked myself, where did God come from? And then my mind went blank. And then I saw nothing. And then I realized that was the answer. Nothing is the answer. That's so ironic because we're always looking for something. You know? And that is the plight of the human. Plight. What does that mean? Like, what's the definition of a plight? To me, it means an issue that is going to appear throughout time, and everyone will get tripped up on it at some point. It's like a common hurdle. It's just a common obstacle. Interesting, yeah. You're always looking for something, but the answer is nothing. Yeah. Yeah, most times that's what it is, because if you, I don't know, like, we just, dialing back always gives your life more space. I think that we're just looking for space. I feel like we're looking for our destination. Our destination. Because when I say human, I spell it like H-U-E-M-A-N. H-U-E, hue, is a color, and a color is a vibration. So we as human beings have access to a variety of vibrations. That's what makes us human. Wow. I like that. Interesting. And at the highest vibration, there's silence. Which is nothing. You know what's funny? Because someone, Edom, said your aura was white. Yeah, Edom. Edom, sorry. Edom said your aura was white. Yeah. And to me, that reminds me of like the crystal aura, where you're all the colors, but you're none of them. You know? Yeah.
Is that the clarity that you're talking about? Or
Yeah.
sick.
And when we're out here, you can really sense it because there's not a lot of background noise.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm an artist. I realize an artist is someone who takes responsibility for their imagination. That's what I decided an artist was. Because artists are creators. Like it says in the Bible, ye are gods. And I love that scripture because I think it's the perfect definition of man. And a god is someone who, as they think, it happens. And God is an artist. You look around and it's beautiful, you know?
Yeah.
And this is someone who took very much, the intention in this being's imagination was immaculate.
It's infinite.
Infinite. So when I say I'm an artist, that's what I mean. I'm just a little god inside of big God.
With infinite creative ability.
Infinite creative ability.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. And it can be fun. It just depends on how you look at it. I think we all have different brush strokes. Some people have like a big ass brush. Some people have a tiny brush. And it can get overwhelming when you just have this white canvas. You don't really know what to put. But it's just like, bro, just stroke, just do something. Just enjoy it. Because it's not about having a good painting. It's just about painting. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna, you paint something, you know, so I'm not gonna judge it. Like, that's what you felt like painting. I think that's where I'm at now, where it's like, it doesn't matter what someone else thinks about it. It's like, do I enjoy this painting? And I feel like 99% of life is just that, like, in my opinion.
How do you know if you enjoy it?
Your heart just kind of flutters a little bit. Like, you get that, like, twinkle in your eye, or you start laughing, or you like that feeling of joy and alleviation, I feel like, is what I know to be joy. And you go back to, like, the concept of hues, and, like, everyone's on a different channel. Like, I like to stay on that one. I want to be intentional about staying on that channel as much as I can, regardless of who it comes off to, you know. That's like, that's the most important thing. This camera's twitching. But yeah, this was an epic conversation.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right. Mini episode 1 complete.
Right.
Right.
It's kind of like built into, like, I think you guys do the whole practicing, like praying multiple times a day, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in one
Especially
certain
Muslims,
direction.
especially Ethiopian. Well, there's
Yes.
Muslims everywhere, but Ethiopian Muslims, Christian Ethiopians.
And do y'all still practice like, do the women still practice veiling and stuff? Because Christian women are supposed to veil
I
too. We
think
just don't.
yes.
Or not we.
Yeah.
but-
I think yes, they do.
yeah. At least like from the
Because my
videos
mom,
that I've seen in
she has a whole
Ethiopia.
prayer room closet, like with everything.
Yeah,
So
and I see a lot of like older Ethiopian women. I always assumed they were Muslim, like, because I only
based on
recently- yeah.
It's not a hijab. It's called netla, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's
similar.
beautiful,
It's
too.
very gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like seeing all my mom's aunties, cousins. They wear that. So
Yeah, I personally, I think it's
Ghanaians,
beautiful,
they don't
so-
wear like nothing. What do
Not
the women
for-
wear
not
at the
religiously.
church?
Not religiously. A lot of women cover their hair in the church.
Yeah.
I think that's more of like a cultural thing because
Yeah.
obviously our women believe in like modesty, especially in like the presence of God and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so hard because as a Ghanaian, I want to say we, but
Yeah.
like as a me, I as a non-Christian, I don't want to say we.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Also,
But-
too, I didn't realize this. My mom was telling me. I only know this because what happened? He gave it to me.
Yeah, I'm
He
not sure what's
gave it to
happening.
me.
Oh, there's a camera. Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So my manager, she's Muslim, and she's fasting right now. But there was a day I came to work. She said, "I'm not fasting today." I said, "Why?" She said, "I'm doing. Well, I have women things." I'm like, "Oh, is that really a?" Because I didn't know. Like, I asked her, "Is that like allowed in the Quran?" She said, "Yes. Allah says, if you are on your cycle, then it's okay to, take a break." And then I asked my mom, "Is it the same for?" I was asking, same for Christians also. I don't know if you've seen this if you went to church with your parents or family back in the day.
You're talking about Lent?
Well, that also, just regular church, like that. If you see the women outside the church, either, sometimes they're just getting like fresh air or whatever, but typically that means they're on their cycle. They're not, God doesn't allow them in the church, which I didn't know. That was in Christianity. You didn't know, did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
So
I thought maybe you knew. I thought that was very interesting. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. So
I never practiced
I came over here to
Lent
whisper
like
that. So yeah.
I came to, I never really practiced it. I feel like any kind of like fasting that I did was more performative while I was in my faith, because not performative to say that I was doing it for others.
Yeah.
But I felt like if I didn't do it, I would be seen as like a bad Christian. And I didn't want that perception going on around me. And I also like had this weird thing where it was like, I don't really feel any of this deeply or spiritually. So I know like God knows my truth. So I always used to feel like I was like going to hell no matter what.
Yeah.
Because no matter how many like correct steps I took, like God knew my truth. And he knew that I didn't like I never felt any kind of like anything when I fasted, when I prayed.
You didn't feel different at all, you're saying? You just felt very neutral. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't feel liberated, or you didn't feel bad?
I feel like maybe like the only thing, like when I got older and I became like more diet conscious, like now fasting kind of just feels like, okay, you're taking care of your body, you're cycling out like old dead cells, because after like I think a certain number of hours, your body like reaches the state where it starts eating away at its like old damaged cells to preserve energy. So I've always felt like, oh, I'm treating my body right. This feels good for that reason. But as far as like a spiritual reason for fasting, I always just kind of like fasted because I knew I had to. Like if somebody passed away that was really close to my family or something like that, then I would do it. But it never, connected with me. So when I say it's like performative, like, yes, I performed for other people because Christianity at the end of the day, and like religion in general, organized religion, is a culture.
Yes.
And like your perception within that culture is your value.
Yes.
So like it just became like a thing, like, oh, being a good girl is also being like a good Christian girl.
Yeah.
So if I had to fast, I would fast. If I like went and slept over at my cousin's house and my auntie was like, let's do a 5-hour prayer lock-in tonight, I'm gonna pray 5 hours because that's what a good Christian girl would do. That makes me a good girl. That means that my aunties think that I'm a good girl. That means they tell their friends I'm good. I'm a good child. That means like nobody's mad when they drop me back off with my mom. My mom's not pissed at me. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Stuff like that. So I did perform, but performative in the sense that even for God, a lot of the time I felt like I was performing so like maybe he wouldn't send me to hell.
Yeah.
But I was pretty convinced he was going to send me to hell. So, yeah.
That's why we're with How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm alright.
Are you just testing the mics right now?
I'm doing like random videos everywhere.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Delvita. Thank you
Delvita.
for, yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, Delvita.
Should I hold that? Oh, if I can.
I can hold it for you. Use one mic. Who are you, Delvita?
Who am I?
Yes.
I'm still figuring it out. I plan to forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying the process?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. I don't think the point is to enjoy it all the time, right? You know? The point, to me, is just to return to the practice of doing it, right? And specifically, return to the awareness that it is a process and there's not an end point. I don't think there's going to be a point where I'm like, here's who I am.
Yeah.
I think it's just a constant unfolding and becoming and unbecoming. And,
That's beautiful though, because it doesn't give you pressure to be happy and be joyful. Like I can be upset when I can be upset, and I
can be frustrated. What's that?
All has its place.
Like yoga has to do with that, right? Like holding space for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I think yoga at its core comes back to union, which is funny because in my earlier stages of yoga, I thought that was union with mind and body. But even thinking like that is an act of separation. And the deeper I get into my yoga studies, the more I realize it's union with all that I'm learning that I am and all that has been, you know? And so it's not like mind and body. It's that I personally believe there's source, and my journey here helps me return to source in pieces. And yoga has definitely birthed a lot of that.
So, yeah, yoga comes in all forms, right? So like, yoga comes in like the way you eat.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah. So I feel like, do you practice yoga when it comes to your diet?
Absolutely. So there is something that I feel like you're familiar with, which is Ayurveda, which is not necessarily required by yogis. I think there's part of why I love yoga is because so much is like, it feels like the teachings are like, here is what people who have been on this path have learned. Take what you will. So it's like, I think vegetarianism is encouraged, but I've never read anything that's like, if you're not vegetarian, down with you. It's just like, okay, if you learn to walk this path, you believe in nonviolence, that extends to everything, including the food you eat. But going back to Ayurveda, yes, there's a whole developed, deep system for digestion because everything we consume becomes us, right? Like I love the idea of like eat living foods because you are a living being, right? So yeah, I follow some Ayurvedic principles for sure. Like wake up in the morning, I do breath work before anything on an empty stomach, which I still think that's a part of consumption because it's like before you put anything in, how are you dealing with your body?
Very good point.
Yes, and then hot water first before anything, just to like get your digestive system active, you know, waking up. And then after that, it's ginger tea, something that's a little bit more.
Wakes you up a little bit more.
Yeah.
This thing's going.
Yeah, Ayurveda encourages eating fruit by itself. Like you don't mix it with beef and cheese and stuff. So I start the morning with fruit. It specifically recommends like water-based fruit because that moves through your system quickly. Watermelon, cantaloupe, things like that. So, I mean, I could go on and on and on, but there's really so much strategy behind not only what do you eat, but when do you eat.
Oh,
the camera's right here.
Oh, are the mics on and everything? All right, how you doing today, bro?
I'm doing very relaxed.
Yeah?
Yes.
What was your first, like, I guess when the house first started to fill up, what was like your first feelings as the house started to get more and more full of people?
Just pure love, man. Just love. Like, I spend so much time by myself, so being in an environment full of like-minded people, like 13 of them, this is the first time it's happened in my adult life.
Yeah.
So just this feeling of community is just, it's like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah, dude.
Almost, yeah. What about you?
I mean, I got here and the house was already kind of filled up. Good morning. I got here and the house was kind of already filled up. But yeah, kind of similarly, like I definitely, because I live in my hometown still, or now, I get together with like people that I love, but not like this. Like I made these friends right before I moved away, so like to actually have dedicated time for all of us to be together is
amazing,
incredible, dude. It's incredible.
There's nothing like it. And I'm actually realizing how being around people who align with you, it relaxes your nervous system too. And when I'm around people who I'm not aligned with, I get like tense.
Yeah, it's almost like different levels, and it's like stressed. Like around people who I don't feel aligned with, anxious. By myself, chilling. Around people I'm really aligned with, that I can be by myself with.
Right.
Like is a different level of like, I don't know, safety almost. Because it's like the safety of being alone
Yeah.
but like with numbers.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. Nah, it's a distinct difference between just being by yourself. And I got so used to the comfort of being alone, I forgot what it was like to experience that in community. You know? I kind of lost faith in it. I was like, I don't need it. I mean, if it happens, if it happens,
Humans. I'll take the trees, thank you.
Yeah, but this is changing my perspective on just people in general, you know. Just how to build community. Like, because there's a certain frequency behind it, and now because I'm immersed in it, I can leave with this feeling, and then I can identify other people who I would blend well with in person, because it's like,
and I think you find yourself in spaces with those people pretty often, like just based on, you know, where you go to find peace. I think that you find people that align with that pretty often.
No, it's all connected. Yeah, it's a beautiful feeling.
No, it seems so calm this morning. Like, hectic, but also calm at the same time. It's very strange.
Like, this is organized.
It seems so calm. Like, hectic, but still so calm. Yeah.
Look at these perfectly sliced avocados, for example.
This is some restaurant quality.
High key. It's not a joke. Like, go off. But yeah, loving it. Loving these huge windows. That's the key to my heart, is big windows.
So how did you feel walking in here yesterday and seeing all the people?
A little nervous at first, but then happy because like the vibes were so excellent. Personally, I tend to like lately have shy away from social engagements, become very isolated, a little agoraphobic. So going from that to like walking into a room of like 12 other people and knowing that we're going to be spending like days together, sleeping together and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, we don't do this too often, not in a group this big. So I was a little nervous, but that melted away quickly. I mean, when we get together, this is always a good group.
Yeah, definitely. I get that.
What about you?
Similar, but like walking in immediately, I felt the warmth.
Yeah.
And everyone was just so willing to help after I pressured them. That was very nice.
You didn't pressure us.
No.
Oh, you just asked one time.
I did, yeah. Thank you.
What did you?
Tensai was like, oh, you walked in all bossy. This is your personality. I was like,
so
oh.
weak. He was like, what did you say? You were like, can some burly men help move the things from the car? Once you said that, I just came and sit down. I was like, nothing else is needed from me. So honestly, I thank you.
Yeah. It's just a question. You could have easily been like, no, and I'd be like, okay, we'll go do it.
You look relaxed.
But it was good. It was good shit.
Yeah, that's good. That's how you should feel.
I'm so happy for these new folks I've met. They're all literally just like everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same energy, the new people I've met.
Yeah.
And him.
Yeah.
And her.
Yeah, come on, let's talk about the excellent quality of the people, because Alexis, Adam, and Deborie have been doing a lot of work in art with Vida as well. And then like Kadir came and gave us like a DJ set, like an in-house DJ set yesterday evening. We got photographers on deck. We got a lawyer here. Like we.
I gotta say I'm proud of you. You conquered attitudes that no one thought was possible. Forget all numbers, bureaucracy, and the statutes. Look what you had to do. You made it through. You are the proof. Don't think that your attitude is irrational. It's admirable. The way you stir with these sabbaticals, so tactical. Never thought twice about the practicals of platitudes. I wish I could move that way now, but you got it, dude. I never know how to keep moving. My days ain't running on two heads ain't running on fuse. No way to two. I don't wanna exclude. Your bravery is the truth, and one day you'll get to move on your own without the approval. They send the music later all through. Artist philosopher, get your vibes right out the dirt. Yeah, so bro, we converse. You don't need to prove your worth. You came here right with the purpose. You don't need to crash and burn. You already been through the worst. I'm right here, let's take a turn. Oh, you an artist philosopher, get your vibes right out the dirt. Yeah, so bro, we converse. You don't need to prove your worth. You came here right with the purpose. You don't need to crash and burn. You already been through the worst. I'm right here, let's take a turn. Boy, you better look at my eyes when you're talking to me. Stay keen when I'm running through dreams. Like being when I'm doing my thing, with the same routine when I'm running my schemes. When the smoke kills out, let it come out clean. Not always right about seams. New hallways cutting my teeth when I'm out these streets. Fighting powers that be. I don't hit them up, y'all had enough. They left me out here starving. Dap me up, can I get no love? I don't think their mind is conscious. I just pack it up, only need to trust. They turn me to a martyr. Resurrected in the morning, right back to the land I'm calling. Icarus will sure be missed, cause now the ground is calling. Winds were clipped, so fortunate, and now I'm back to crawling. Been so rough, no way to plug, my power still installing. But I'm just grateful for my nature.
She went up there.
Get your vibes right out the dirt.
Camilla, bro.
Yeah, yo, so go with the verse. You don't need to prove your worth. You came here right with the purpose. You don't need to crash and burn. You already been through the worst. I'm right here, let's take a turn. Oh, you an artist philosopher. Get your vibes right out the dirt. Yeah, yo, so bro, wake up first. You don't need to prove your worth. You came here right with the purpose. You don't need to crash and burn. You already been through the worst. I'm right here, let's take a turn. I can really call it. This one got me nauseous. Soul is up for bargain. They out there hiding.
Yes, sir. Where we at, man?
We're at the edge of the world.
That's what it seems like, right?
Yeah. We are in Shenandoah, bear country.
Not for real. How did we get here?
I mean, there's a lot of ways to answer that question. Well, first of all, we drove about 2 hours here. But in terms of the psychological aspect as to how we got to this point, to where we're even comfortable sitting here, that was a journey.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure, man. Coming from an environment where we don't see this.
Yeah.
This level of awe. I think that's the only way to put it.
Yeah, most people where we're from would be scared of doing something like this.
Yeah. But there's a lot of sewage that we had to clear out to be able to be comfortable doing something like this, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's that is the achievement. That's the certificate, like that's the diploma, you know? Us just being comfortable doing something like this.
Yeah, Mahogany said something interesting earlier today when we were talking about storm chasers.
Yeah.
Because she was telling us how there's news of people. There's news of tornadoes happening in the Midwest. And then I thought what's even more crazier than that is that they're recorded. So there's people who are going out there to look for these terrifying things, but these awe-inspiring things at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting how like beauty and danger are very close to each other.
Yeah. And we were joking about how, what is the training to get that kind of job?
Yeah.
Like, what is the networking process? Do you go to school for that?
Right.
And then Mahogany was like, all you need to do is be willing, then you get the job. Because most people wouldn't do it.
Yeah. And that's all it takes to really do something like this.
Yeah.
Like we're 2 of 12 other people, so there's 14 people here on this trip.
Yeah.
And all we really had to do was be willing. Because it wasn't that hard.
No, it wasn't.
You know, $87 per person for about 2 days in a fantabulous location.
Yeah.
And it just takes a willingness to cooperate. Just make it happen. So, yeah.
And also a willingness to expand.
Yeah.
A willingness to feel small. For your ego to feel small.
For it to be still, too. For it to be silent.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's like this kind of place, it just, your ego, it's like a dandelion. It just, just blows you away.
It shuts you up, for sure.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Beautiful.
Feel me?
Awesome.
It's crazy how you can grow accustomed to unfortunate events, right? It is what it is. I ain't even want revenge. Thought I needed more time, but I really needed more gratitude. From 19 to 26, the same latitude. All the talent in the world can fix a bad attitude. That's hell-bent on nonsense, saying it's attitude. I got them wider within my spirit, from comforting and make coherence enter my prayers. Stop putting effort in them. Shit, I dabbled with black magic, shooting feet, I'm tap dancing incomplete. My mind is pantsing for answers, man, what a cancer. Guilt tripping, same sipping cool that I'm getting tan. That shit cropping up on the man. Now I'm coping, go grab the handle, what open me and my tantrums. Linguistic prison say I'm a victim and I'm commanded. The nagging tick for tacking, I'm drowning in reprimandings. I fucking hate the way six succeed in the reprogramming my heart. I couldn't hear him, I'm sorry for disappearing. When I promise I won't go veering on a 7-year detour again. I detox, meditating right on the seashore. I pray to God I get a second chance to be more. And as soon as I wake up, cars broken, saxophone is stolen. Sorry couldn't cope, the tears started overflowing. Worshiping false idols like Israelites in the Bible. I opened the book of Proverbs, recited like a disciple. Yeah, I opened the book of Proverbs, recited like a disciple.
I keep rolling, no chains on me. The road sings louder than memories. Ain't gotta know where it might lead, as long as my heart still believes.
We gotta get a selfie with that.
Yeah, this is the view.
Oh,
You don't have to. We beat the game today.
If you want to. Yeah, bro, if you stay up here long enough, all your life problems will be solved.
I think so. You're going through
Fascist,
something.
you
Take you mean? There's too many.
Set up camp.
Can I take off my glasses?
yeah. Careful now. Sorry, guys.
You good?
Yeah, we about to chill here for a minute.
We can watch it.
You know, like, I'm the line.
Exactly like Zephyr. It's just like.
Yeah, it's like.
So you guys are sisters?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
You guys are sisters?
Yeah.
Wow. Who's older?
Me.
What? Impossible.
What I mean? It's me. It is. Big Dada.
She likes to think we're twins.
You guys are triplets, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Just be careful. That's a lovely story.
How'd you and your brother meet?
You know, my dad and my mom.
Right.
And,
Is everyone hydrated?
There was an egg and then split in half.
Right.
It happens.
Then, actually, funny story, they said my hand popped out first.
Oh,
But they had to push it back in.
that's scary.
And then Nick came back. Nick came out and then I came second.
Oh, so you was trying to be first.
Oh, that's what you call a destiny swap, ladies and gentlemen.
Next time, try harder.
You grabbed it. So get your ass back here.
Try to bar a tiny fish, put up the shot. I gotta switch, no sense for me to go outside. If I ain't chasing dollar signs, they shot my crib like I was terrified. I ain't gonna lie, sensitive. I work at top for more than shit that gotta hide. They promised 10, they gave me 5. I can't just know it, no surprise. Mama, I just wanna fly. They held me down, I can't comply. Don't make a frown, don't pout and cry. I till the day I'm satisfied. Mama, I just want my pie. I stop hunting, then I die. You and he, I will oblige. You cannot see my angle fine. I'm floating, coasting, choking, I'm blowing the bass. Yeah, that comes from my bro. He dropped it off yesterday. Last time he had that fire. Everybody told me to go hard to 26 until I realized doing the opposite would really get me fixed. So I grabbed my phone for dopamine hits. Maybe seeing your face would give me closure from this. I check your Finsta and it looked like you was doing fine. I wanna reach out, but that shit made me wanna change my mind. And plus I know you're disappointed. Every time you got anxious, but I got avoided. I felt guilty for the role that I self-appointed. I couldn't do it anymore, my future felt distorted. So I hit eject, tired of the disrespect. I couldn't let your tide turn me to a shipwreck, a Titanic regret. Catching frostbite so you don't ever get too wet. That's too much acting for me not to get an Oscar. So I straighten my posture, then why you gotta act perplexed? Making me second guess, calling me a monster when you poked the bear. I tried my best, I swear I did. I like far and wide facet it is. My parasympathetic system, non-existent negatives. I got too repetitive, so what could I do? A rejection to a redirection, well I guess that's the truth.
I keep rolling, no chains on me. The road sings louder than memories. Ain't gotta know where it might lead, as long as my heart still believes. I keep rolling, no chains on me. The road sings louder than memories. Ain't gotta know where it might lead, as long as my heart still believes.
It don't matter. It's a video, so like.
Okay, cool. So it's not. We said, hey, guys, turn around. And then, good thing she said, like, literally as she said, Lake Laura, we passed it. But, all right.
Oh, no. It's a video. Don't worry about it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Nah, you're good.
That's exactly what happened. I'm glad he said Lake Laura because we almost, like, went home. Yeah. We were on our way home. I'm so glad we didn't go home. Because look at this. This is beyond
DJ, this my song, let's get it. Run it right back, yo, I got a few minutes. Call on my ass, but she always tripping. Told her let it go, but she never get the message. I don't want things to get so messy. I just want my cheese and blessings. Ate my progress, do 1 second. Show me where the cows are happy.
I don't think we can do this.
Where's the match? Showed you where you're at. I pull the haze and I recall it back. My days and I put my tracks. I made the pain with it off the scratch. I engineered it from the base to slack. So don't worry, come on, we gon' match. Yeah, we gon' match. So all the days where I wear a mask, all the days where I share a flash. With papers and phonies stuck in glass. Big blue ocean, I know it's fast. Send it emotion, take up a lag. I need a potion, bring up the bag. So call me white and come so fast. Dodging suits and ties, you can scratch it for some dimes. Penny nickels, quarters, fives. I absorb it with my mind. Doing dodging suits and ties, you can scratch it for some dimes. Penny nickels, quarters, fives. I absorb it with my mind. Who am I? Scratching, screaming. I've been looking for a buzz. Yo, this life is so defeating. Don't know how I have enough. I've been living with demons.
Wait for the right moment.
Yeah. This was definitely a moment, man.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, how's this whole getaway, how's it made you feel just about yourself and other people?
The main lesson I've gotten from this is that my natural frequency can draw in a whole community of people and sustain it. And I used to think how I carried myself was so niche that I could only enjoy it in a one-on-one interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never thought to even do something like this.
What do you mean by niche, though? Like the way you interact?
Like a niche is like a nook in a wall, and the wall is the ecosystem, and then a nook is where you've placed yourself in the ecosystem, and it determines what you interact with, and that's how you survive, is interaction.
Okay.
And so I thought my niche was so small that it could only interact with
one person at a time,
like very specific people at a time.
I think that is true. I also think that we are all kind of like that. So when you curate a community where all of us are kind of like that, and you put us together, that's when we don't feel as niche, I feel like. What do you think? You don't think so?
I'm just thinking. Yes, because like all of us were those people who thought we could only connect with very specific people at a time.
All right.
But then we all found each other, and now we're all connecting all at once. So it's like the veil of how big the niche is lifting.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a lot larger than I thought. So the kinds of people I could feel at home with, it's actually larger than what I thought. And that's encouraging me to reach out more to people who I resonate with. Just random people. Like if I'm out at the grocery store and I pick up an energy from someone, that's a signal that's saying this person is in your niche of society.
Yeah. That's your soul tribe, or how people like to put it.
Yeah.
No, I think that's why it's vitally important to be aware of that, to be sensitive to those like fluctuations in the field, because that doesn't happen with everybody.
No, because some people, you look at them and it's just flat.
You look at them and it's just flat. Yeah, that's true.
And some people you look at and there's actually a disorder that manifests. But then some people you look at and it's this blossoming effect.
And it's interesting how different people hit you in different ways. Like for Vita, for example, she stimulates my brain, you know. With Mahogany, I felt more of like a heart thing. Deborah, I felt like more of like a lower sacral chakra kind of thing. And it's funny how different people you interact with open up different or close different parts of your system, like when you interact with them.
Different chakras.
Different chakras. Like I find that to be very interesting, man. I'm just wondering, like, what is that? I think we're just designed to do that. Like when you start to interact with somebody or something, your field is now weaving into theirs.
Right.
And you guys are influencing each other, like as it's happening. It's really interesting how that works. But I guess the whole point is like, I don't really know what I was trying to say, but it's about curation. Like when you curate a bunch of people that's what I was trying to say. When you curate a bunch of people that open you up in ways that you want to open yourself up in,
right?
That's when like, okay, you need to stay. You need to stay, and that's how you build a community, because that's what this is all really about at the end of the day. So
yeah, and before I think I was using that as who do I stay away from? Yeah.
That's funny.
Instead of who do I approach?
That's such an interesting, simple, like profound way to. Yeah, that is the fundamental question when you're in those states of like survival. What am I running away from? Like what am I trying to avoid? But if you only think about that, then you're just running the whole time. You're not.
And you're not looking where you're going.
You're not looking where you're going. Yeah, that's such a good way to put that. Because even in the concept of, we're talking about like vibes and metaphysics and stuff like that. So like the fact that everything is platformed on an electromagnetic field, the way I see it is like electro is energy, magnetic is just repulsion and attraction. So there's things that naturally do both to us. And you can feel it, like the way things are shifting you around. And if you're only tuned into things that are repelling you, then you are just almost walking backwards. Like you're walking away from the thing, but you're walking backwards as you're doing it. You know?
Away from what thing?
The thing that you don't want. So pretend like we're walking away from this camera. Like I don't want to be close to this camera. I'm like I'm backpedaling. I'm moving away from the camera.
Right.
But I'm not turning around to seeing, okay, what am I attracted to?
Right.
And that tells you your future, basically. Your ideal future. Yeah.
Yeah, being programmed to be afraid of what you're attracted to is a huge problem.
Say that one more time. That was a bar.
Being programmed to be cautious of what you're drawn to.
Wow.
That's probably the largest distraction.
Sheesh.
That we all deal with.
Yeah, man. It's almost it's a form of a prison. I was writing on one of my songs that I said our jail is metaphysical, started above the sentencing. So it's like a double entendre with like jail and sentencing. But the sentence, as in like when we first start writing our own scripts, there's already one that's just hovering over this environment, almost like a virus, just ready to be deployed. Like as soon as this person's born, like, here, get them with the whatever, get them with the fear of self, get them with the fear of like being curious, like, and oh my God, I could talk about this all day, bro. I think is just the fundamental desire of really what's going on in this war is just control over the mind. Like which ideology is going to control the world in this concept of a world government. And it's funny how similar that is to One Piece.
Yeah.
It's like they were telling the future. You know?
It's a reflection of reality.
It's a reflection of reality. That's why it's so poignant. Because they are trying to make a surveillance state. Because in their mind, the world government is, you're going to rule through the mind because Age of Aquarius, everyone's on the internet. People are going to be governed through their phones. We're not even going to need to be policed at that point. Like if someone grows up in an environment where the media is suppressed, then it's only going to turn out one kind of person, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very fragile.
Yeah.
Because if you just take your attention away from the Internet of Things and you turn it towards your own records from within, then the whole system just falls. It'll only last as long as people are as cowardly as they want to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's really fear that stops people from looking at these other records. Like I like the way you put that word is a record, because we are just living out of someone else's record. Like someone else's. This is the way things should be going. This is what you'd be thinking. This is what we've documented. But there is another record that exists, but you have to, in your experience, like you have to receive the record in an alternative way. Like you're not going to get the record on this side through this method, you know?
Yeah, that's really what determines someone's destiny is. What database they're pulling from.
Yeah.
And if you pull from the organic database, then the synthetic one has no meaning to it. And then you just stop listening to it. And then it doesn't work.
Because it only works if you're listening to it.
Yep.
I mean, that's all why we came out here, because we knew we were listening to a program or a database that did not have our best interests at heart. And we're trying to tap into the real one, honestly.
Yeah.
It's been great. Like that feeling of family comes to mind on trips like this. And I didn't think I would experience this. I think I just, in a sad way, I feel like I gave up on that feeling of this is my family. I thought that was just too complicated to have. It's like, that would be nice, but I got to do what I got to do type shit. But
I think it was only complicated because the database that you and I were pulling from it was convoluted to begin with, so
yeah, it's like that day. I was telling Vita about that. Like that database is not even, there's not even a code in that whole database that leads you to a feeling like this.
Right.
That's the scary part, where you're like, bro, this operating system that I'm on isn't even giving me the possibility of feeling the way I know I should be feeling right now.
And that is why people commit suicide. Because nowhere in their library
they can find it
is happiness.
Damn. And they're searching, they're flipping through books, swiping on social media. I do it too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, you can try to run in the bad program, but it's only going to get you more of that.
Yeah. You have to use another library. Like, you have to step out the library and get into another one.
And that's the
hardest
fear.
part.
And that's the fear. That's where the fear comes up. But you have to trust in your ability to adapt. Like I just started working at Starbucks, and I don't want to be there, but God gave me a job, so I'm there, right? He's allowing me to make money and think and buy more time for myself, and the way he presented it was through me making drinks all day. You're just gonna stand on your feet and make drinks all day and really think about your next move. But it's teaching me a lot about learning a different language, because Starbucks is its own language, bro. It doesn't make any sense to someone who doesn't go to Starbucks.
Yeah, that's true. It has its own culture.
It has its own culture. And I find myself becoming more smarter, because I'm like, wow, I'm like, okay, so that's what grinding means. That's what venting means. Oh, it comes with this pump. It comes with that. So it makes you think about a lot of stuff. And I like to ask people, like, how long have they been somewhere? Just to, get a gauge of where they're at. Everyone said they've been there for like 2022, 2023. I've been here 6 years. I've been here 8 years. And part of me is like, that's one interesting part about that, is that once you get immersed into a culture, which is company is part of that, business is part of that, you don't find yourself, unless you're really strong-willed, going outside of that culture anymore. Because you found it, right?
Pharaoh's got you.
You and these one-liners, bro. The Pharaoh has got you. Yeah. Wow. Because you have to dress a certain way. You have to talk a certain way. You have to know certain things. You have to understand where certain things are. And the Pharaoh's got you, bro. It's like you just become very comfortable living under the government of Starbucks. But it's giving you a sense of purpose, because you know where all the drinks are at.
Yeah.
You know the people who come in every single day. You know what to wear. The creativity is basically out the window once you wrap your head around everything. Like, part of the creativity is talking to people. But essentially, it's like you allow this database to rent out a specific sector of your mind.
Yeah.
And you said, that's fine. I'll let Starbucks. And I'm just like, no, bro, I want 100%.
Right.
of the brain space, of the brain capacity that I was given, like that I was promised. Like it's like we were given a 4K, 8K device, and we're running on 420p. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Well, the way to not do that is you have to externalize your own information system.
What do you mean?
So you said you want 100% autonomy over your thought process.
Indeed.
And the way to do that is to make it more tangible so other people can utilize it and trade with it. That's what Starbucks did. It was just an idea in someone's head, and they just flipped it to the outside.
Wow.
And that's become this whole thing.
Their own culture.
Yeah, because the creative Starbucks, they were probably thinking the same thing. I want my own thought process.
I don't want to live in someone else's home. I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I want to be in my home.
But you got to build it. That's really the only way.
The only way is to build it.
Yeah.
Because we're living on, like, we're in a beautiful home right now, and it's really designed for someone of our taste, right? Like,
yeah.
There's a hot tub down there. It's on a nice hill. It's quiet. There's a balcony here. The living arrangement is very open, I would say.
Yeah.
Very communal. Xbox downstairs, and it's like, okay, this has a certain intention and ideology behind this building, you know? And someone had to say, you know what, fuck this. Like, I'm living how I want to live, and they just figure it out. And I think Mahogany was telling me about the Peace Corps, about how she but she worked with the Peace Corps to travel, gain resources so she can make her next move. And the one thing that makes me hesitant about doing that is that you got to do it for at least like 2 years, I think. But to me, if I'm trying to build a community, that's like a lifetime project, right?
Yep.
Like, we might not be the ones who can completely benefit from it, but we were the people who pioneered this, whatever we're doing, you know?
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, okay, this is starting to feel like something that's bigger than me at this point. Like, let me maybe go to the Peace Corps for 2 years of my life so I can come back with contacts, resources, information, and bring that back to what we're doing. I think that's a worthy contribution. And I think what's beautiful about this community is everyone is doing something, but they all have an intention to pull it back to the community.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's such a beautiful, meaningful way of thinking about things. And
that's the end goal. It's just to harmonize with your fellow man, right?
That's really what we all want.
Yeah.
That is true. It's almost like a human. It's a natural. You go back to databases. I feel like there's a natural database that is calling us to build or create community. I don't know what it is, but there's a primal drive there that once you get the bug, it's like,
yeah,
it gives you so much energy.
Yeah. And I've caught the bug after this. It's so deep in my nervous system now because I intentionally just wanted to focus on the frequency of community, like healthy community. Because I'll speak for myself, community for a long time was a minefield where if I was too much of myself, one of the mines would go off. And then I just wanted to be in solitude after that.
Damn. That's real, though.
Yeah.
A minefield. How did you resolve that? Like, at what point did the minefield turn into like a sandbox or something? You know? Yo,
Hey,
what's up? It's all right. It's okay.
well, in between the minefield and the sandbox, there's a distance you have to travel on your own. And I feel the minefield is like Pharaoh's kingdom. And the sandbox is the promised land. So in between that, there's the desert. And
Yes, sir.
before the desert, there's the Red Sea. And as we all know, you have to split the Red Sea to escape from Pharaoh and get into the desert. And the sea represents emotion. So splitting the sea so you can walk on the floor means you have to organize your emotions so you can walk on your own platform.
Wow.
And then once you do that, you find yourself in a land that doesn't have any tangible symbols around you that you can orient yourself around. And that's when most people fall into false idols.
They go back. Or they go back.
Or they go back.
Or they go back.
And I went through a trial and error process of following false idols and getting scammed. And
Pharaohs, a bunch of pharaohs out there.
a bunch of golden calves, because Pharaoh's gone, but now it's the golden calf.
Now it's the golden calf. Okay.
Which,
yeah, you're still in the analogy. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, keep going. I like this.
And the golden calf represents the deification of carnal desire. So what most people do when they leave a solid structure, although it was oppressive, is they revert back to their primal urges, because that creates a sense of orientation. And then you realize after a certain amount of time that this is all a limited pursuit.
Yeah.
And it ends up in suffering every time. So then gradually you find out what all of your golden calves are, and then you just put them aside, and then all of a sudden this new operating system just kicks in, and it just so happens to be benevolent and lead you to the sandbox or the promised land.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic explanation to that question. I gotta sit with that.
I sat with it for years. That's why I was able to say that.
That was fantastic. Anyone who just heard that and comprehended what this man just said, that's life-changing. I think that's what a sin is, right? It's like having an intention to go after the calf. Where there's a bunch of lights right here, right? And they're all staggered, and like this light's right here, this light's right there, this light's right. And this one's like easy to hit. I can hit that right now.
Right.
And that one right now, and that one right now.
Right.
But these all might be calves.
Yep.
Like you might need to go. I might need to shoot the freaking arrow, and that might be the benevolent aim. It might be somewhere in the distance I can't even see yet. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And that gets to the point where it's like, God, did you just not leave anything for me? Like, what's going on? But it's like, no. The reason why this looks barren right now is because your land is far. It's far out, farther than your consciousness right now, and that's okay. Like it's all designed. It's all part of the process. It's all designed to force you to turn on. Because I know I put you in a predicament where if you don't shine bright enough, nothing is going to happen. So you need to shine brighter than the average person.
Yep.
And it's so funny because like I used to feel like, because I'm still in your analogy of like Pharaoh, Red Sea, golden calves, right? So, I went this way and then I forgot where I was going.
That's what happens in the desert.
I'll find it. But it's really just about aim.
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to say. I feel like first I felt like I was on a show of Punked, where like I would be in a
I thought that too.
I was like, bro, I know I'm being watched because I literally, there's so many synchronicities happening and my angel number is popping up everywhere. I'm like, I'm clearly being watched right now. Like, there's clearly someone behind the veil just like cheering me on or something. Maybe they might be making fun of me, right? Or they might be like frustrated, but I know I'm being watched. And I feel like that's what's giving me this feeling. And I'm like, are y'all punking me right now? What's going on? Like, are y'all trying to punk me? But it's like, no, we're trying to force your hand. Like, we're trying to put you in a position of pressure. So we're forcing you to direct your attention beyond your immediate circumstances.
Right.
And it's like if we don't it's like if we don't get through the desert at a certain amount of time, heaven's like, all right, like, how long you been here? All right, we gonna speed this up.
Right.
Because we need you to show up on time.
Right.
You know?
Right. It accelerates.
It starts to accelerate it because it's like, all right, Tyson, like, come on. We got to speed this up. But I think that's where I'm at, where I was telling Mahogany about this. There's this analogy of a lot of people stay in the midland, right? Further in where it's safe. And then there's some people, they get treated so poorly by the people of the midland that they have to go to the edge.
Right.
It wasn't no fault of their own. Their life is just continually forced them outside. And now it's at the point where the townspeople, for whatever reason, they just hate you. And they're chasing you off this cliff. And on the other side of the cliff, you don't know what's down there. It could be rocks. It could be a river. But if you go back, the tribes people are going to kill you. So it's like I'm in the position where I have to jump.
Like, do you want to change or do you want to die?
That's really what it is. And I feel like from a cosmic perspective, life doesn't care. It's like, bro, you'll come back and do it again. Like, but I'm gonna put you in a situation where you're gonna feel the heat. You know?
Yeah.
I think like that's the amazing thing about the fact that there is a supreme being running the show. Is like its perspective is so much more vast than ours that we tend to think from the perspective of the ego, where it's like, why are you doing this to me? Like, why are you putting me in a space where I'm suffering? Where it's like, bro, you might have to suffer for like a whole lifetime before like your soul becomes ready for like the thing I made the soul for, you know? And I don't want it to be like that, but
I think we we have to suffer for as long as we are ignorant of the fact we're creating it.
Yeah. And I think the creation comes from like disobedience. I feel like.
Yeah.
It comes from a resistance to where things are actually going.
Right. Going against the current. Just using the wrong information system. That's the largest distraction.
Yeah, because do you think the information system is telling people to go against the current? What do you think?
Well, this is something I wrote in my journal not too long ago. And it says, if you obey man, then you disobey Christ. If you obey Christ, then you disobey man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a sliding scale, and you have to pick one. And they're going in opposite directions. So I do believe there is an operating system that is trying to make the 3D reality more real than it actually is. And when that happens, the people who have power within the 3D structures of society, obviously they benefit. But if you pull your attention away from that, if you break the pattern, then automatically you'll fall into this righteous operating system. And then you'll have the common sense to move through the false information system.
Wow. It's funny. Oh, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
I was just going to say, I think this is something that all the spiritual teachers have been trying to tell us anyway. And this is why they're all revolutionary. Not because they are rebellious, but because the system around us is so corrupt. It just, relative to the system that is corrupt, their actions look rebellious, but they're actually not.
They're just trying to get back into alignment.
Yeah.
And getting it back into, it's at the point where getting back into alignment has now become a rebellious act.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, which is insane, but these are the times we live in.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
And then the question is like, what do I do about that then? Like, how do I cultivate my being, my mind, my soul in such a way where I'm capable of getting back into an alignment? Because there's so much resistance to doing that, how can I fortify myself and make myself as strong or flexible or whatever trait you need to do that? Because it is absolutely imperative that you do that. It's not like for someone who is called to do that, you have no choice, because it goes back to the townspeople in the cliff. You can try to go back, but these people hate you anyway. They don't care about you anyway.
Right.
So you kind of have a choice, but you kind of don't. But I think it's beautiful that people are put in positions where they don't have a choice, because it starts to make things become very clear as to where you should be going, what you need to be doing, what kind of people you need to be hanging around.
Yeah, I think that's the benefit of acquiring a GPS, is that you don't have to make the choice. The choice is already made. And then you just enjoy the ride at that point.
Yeah, because our brains have to be animated by something. Like, whether you choose to let Starbucks take over your brain or you choose to let God take over your brain, something's going to take over your brain.
Yeah.
I'm really starting to see that. We're just hosts for primordial energy. So you just have to pick, like, which energy do I want influencing my vessel. That's the options that we have. And as soon as it's in, like you said, as soon as it's in there, it's like you just let the joint go.
You just let it run.
You just let it run. And you just end up in situations like this where you're just watching yourself make this beautiful thing. It's like, how is this even happening? And it's like, bro, we all decided to make the choice, and we're continuing to make the choice that you were talking about. Like, we're not going to choose these calves no more.
Right.
That's why we're here.
Yep.
We really want to know, what is the true aim? Like, what is the aim that's actually going to get us out of the situation, not some kind of convoluted, temporary form of comfort.
I believe it all comes down to self-respect. That is the number one aim, is self-respect. But to even do that, you have to recognize what is the self. Because if you're respecting an illusion, then obviously you'll end up in a situation where you suffer.
And what do you think the self is, man?
It's just pure awareness. And the closest way to characterize pure awareness for me is lucidity. Lack of friction. And that's the anointing.
The anointing is the lack of friction.
Right, because an anointing is oil. and we use oil to reduce friction.
You miss us?
We're preparing to eat, but please.
Okay.
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 Right.
Thank you. So you said oil.
We use oil to reduce friction. And the less friction you have, the closer you get to pure awareness.
And that's how you develop that's how you cultivate self-respect, is what you're saying? Like reducing the friction?
Yeah, you just get closer and closer to a reduction in friction. It's like one way to see us as human beings is like a vehicle. And you need a certain amount of lubrication to realize the full potential of that vehicle. So let's say you have a Ferrari, but there's no oil in the engine. You start the engine, it's gonna destroy itself, even if it's an amazing car. So to access the anointing, you just need to supply the right amount of oil.
And this anointing, because I remember Nicole was talking about how when Jesus died on the cross for our sins, it's almost like that act created a force field around this planet, and it's just there waiting to be accessed. But you can't access it unless you are doing what you're saying, which is reducing friction. So it's available to all of us. But how willing are you to access it? Because if you are, then you have to let go of the old program.
You have to let go of the friction, because if you look at the effects of the old program, essentially what it's doing is increasing friction.
I love that. You said let go of the friction. Like, don't fight the friction, don't wrestle with it, just let it go.
Just drop it.
How does one cultivate that? Because I feel like a lot of people get ensnarled and ensnared into the friction to the point where you tell people to drop it and they just can't.
You have to identify yourself. That's all what it comes back to, because it
comes back to the self.
Your identity is what determines behavior. So if you're clinging to friction, this means you have identified with something that has the ability to create friction. That's the whole issue. But if you identify as pure awareness, now you're rooted in something that cannot create friction. It's not designed to produce friction.
Oh, I see. And identification comes down to where you consolidate your attention? Is like that a fair way to put it? Or
it's what you perceive as the center. So when you it's your default state.
In a lot of our default states, so it's almost like a false center when we do that.
Yeah,
like we set up shop on friction. It's like a false.
Yeah, because let's say you identify as a person who works at Starbucks.
That becomes
now your default state, your default cognition is now thinking about drinks
and answering the drive-through, and that's where you feel safe. I see. Yeah. Wow.
And that even comes with a certain setting on your nervous system.
It does.
So you feel a certain amount of tension and friction in your nervous system at Starbucks. Well, now if you've identified with that,
it never shuts off.
It never. Why would it? Because
Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's how people end up in chronic pain and chronic tension, because you're still you haven't left the thing that was causing it. I found myself going to sleep because I was trying to be a good barista, not get fired, and I found myself trying to memorize drinks before I was going to sleep. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to go to sleep. Why am I thinking about Venta and chai tea and mocha? I'm like, yeah, 2 pumps of mocha, that goes over there, turn to matcha. And then I'm like, bro, can we go to sleep? Like, this is crazy. But I think the self is like the part of you that says, brother, slow down.
Yeah.
We don't need to think about barista drinks right now. Right. But the program is like, no, I can't die.
Right. You have to let it die.
You have to let it die, yeah.
But the death is just, once again, a complete reduction in friction.
Yeah. Do you feel like there are programs that are good for us? Like, yes, there is the self, which is the home point. So I feel like once you're at the self, you're not necessarily on a program, I would think. You're just at the 0 point, right? Right? So there's nothing going. You're just being. But do you think there are programs out there, and I know this, but I want you to share, like, do you think there are programs out there that lead us back to the true 0 point? And if so, like, what have you practiced? What are you practicing right now? What do you recommend? And I want to know your thoughts on that.
Yoga is the program back. There's a whole system of how to live in a yogic fashion that brings you back to that point. And for people who don't know, yoga means union. So first of all, living from the perception that everything is one. That's how you see things, and then you behave in such a way that harmonizes everything around you. But to put it more simply, it would just be service. The program is service.
Service to also oneself, but and other people, right? Yeah. Because I feel like when you are operating, because I find myself doing that, and I'm trying to figure out my method, because I think I feel like as many people as there are in the world, there are as many methods, I feel like. And I think that's the beauty of the culture that yoga came from, which is Indian culture, where, like, I'm kind of going out of my element, but, like, there is a baseline understanding, at least Sadhguru was talking about this, where every single person had a god, I guess, or like an archetype that they cultivated a relationship with, and it was fine. Like, this person was praying to this guy. This person was praying. I'm like, wow, how beautiful is that, where the spiritual process, or, like, I'll just put it as a curiosity. Like, I can feed my curiosity without feeling like I'm being persecuted. Like, it's so crazy that you're just a child and you just want to know, like, and people are like, no, this is what happened. This is how it worked. I'm just like, I don't think that's true. Like, let me try to find my method. And
it's in you.
It is.
Right now.
Yeah.
Like, you are the method.
You are the method. Yeah, I was thinking about what you said about synesthesia and how you should try to figure out that language out. I was like, you know what? That is true. I should. And I was making some intentions to try to do that. And I realized that when I close my eyes and I see all these, like, patterns and colors and whatnot, I'm seeing that is just an optic reflection of my mood. Like, if I'm feeling joyful, like, the pattern will just shift. Like, the geometry will just change, the color will change. But if I'm feeling a different vibration, so that's why I'm like, oh, that makes sense, because that pairs well with synesthesia, where, like, when I'm listening to something, I can see it. So I'm like, okay, I must have some kind of, like, vision where I can see essences. Like, everything has an essence. But I was given this thing where I could just see it. And I just didn't know what it was. But now I'm like, oh, okay, I feel like that's what it is. Like, it gives me an image of what the essence is.
And that happens automatically, right?
It's automatic.
It's no friction.
It's no, yeah.
Yeah, so that's your anointing.
It goes back. That's my anointing. Interesting.
So you have to use it. If you don't use your oil.
Interesting.
If you don't use that oil, then your machine is going to shut down.
Oh, shit. Interesting. So, like, there's like, it's almost like there's a path of anointing. Like there's a frictionless path.
Yep.
Wow. But if you don't use it, oh shit.
It's like a dolphin who tries to swim like an orca or something. Wow. Like maybe they could move through the ocean, but there's a certain way a dolphin moves through the ocean.
I remember you telling me about that, the bear and the impala. I was like, well, bears are fast, but impalas are born to run. I was like, huh. Am I a bear and impala? But it's interesting, man. I find this kind of like guerrilla style vlog kind of where I'm putting, because I saw J. Cole do it and I was like, bro, that's such a, I love that idea of just like, bro, let's just shoot, let's just point and shoot, whatever, bro, it doesn't matter, let's point and shoot. But in between that, he did a music video, but then he went right back to just doing the documentary stuff, and I was like, bro, that's so ill, bro. Like I want to do that. Like I want to have like a rolling kind of thing where it's like, it's just like a quilt of different stuff, but it's all in one video.
Yeah.
And then from there, I can chop it up how I want. But
yeah,
I love the idea of just like, oh, this is happening, and just setting it up. This is happening, setting that up. And then you look back and you have like an hour of footage. You just throw it all together. Like, what genre is it? It doesn't matter. It's like there could be music video in here. There could be a conversation. There could be just silence. Mm-hmm. We could talk about anything. Like,
let me see how much time is running.
It's still running, right?
Yeah.
How much time we got?
We have 11 minutes left.
Okay. We can wrap it up. But this conversation has been amazing.
Yeah.
And like, we're identical twins, bro, and people think identical twins like they know everything about each other. That's not true. Like there are things that I learn about this guy every single day, every single conversation.
Yeah.
Like I did not know all this stuff that was in his brain about like golden calves, and I didn't know. So I don't know. I just say all that to say like this has been an amazing conversation. And
yeah, likewise, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you feel that way.
Yeah.
And there's so many amazing people here, and I'm just blessed to be able to just be outside the box, man. I think I'm like going back to, this is the last thing I want to say. Is that a woodpecker?
Yeah.
This place is awesome. It's really pecking the wood, man. Like and that's beautiful, bro. They're woodpeckers, bro. If a woodpecker tried to do what a blue jay tried to do, they would be cooked. But they're all birds. But it's like a woodpecker has its own method. I think style is just so important, bro. Like method is so important.
Even the way they look.
But that's culture. Like I could go on about this, but like astrology in the second house, I realize is ruled by Venus. That's the house of culture. I didn't understand, but like Venus is the planet of culture. Because you think about Venus, it has to do with value systems, it has to do with relationships, but it also has to do with taste and harmony. And also disharmony, like, ugh, I didn't like that. That's also Venus too. And a collection of those things is a culture. That's really what it is.
That's it. Yeah, I didn't look at it like that.
Yeah. It's just an amalgamation of different things. So like understanding what your culture is,
right,
can allow you to build community very fast. Because if we're of the same culture, then we can come together and build something like this. And we don't need to. It can take 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and we would feel like we get along because we already of the same culture.
Right.
And I feel like that's what we are called to do. I think the reason why we have been on the fringe is because me and you and people like us are designed or supposed to, or we've been contracted by God to build culture for other people. Like we're the scouts. Like we're like Lewis and Clark. Like everyone's over there. I mean, just think about the way this is happening right now. Like they're in there making dinner, right?
Breakfast.
I mean, why did I say dinner? We just woke up. They're in there making breakfast, and we're outside. Like even optically speaking, like this is what's happening right now. putting a light on what's happening now so we can post it and go out onto the fringes. Like, that's really what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do. Like, I love having this conversation. It's very organic, but like the point of me doing this is to expand this territory that we have right now.
Right.
Because that is the smartest thing we could be doing.
That's in the 10th house too. The house of enterprise. But I've realized that the 10th house is about celebration too, like what other people will celebrate you for.
Interesting.
So
yeah, and it's like since Libra is there and Venus is there, and then like you got Aquarius in the second house. I think it all really comes down to what we will be celebrated for and admired for and paid for will be recruiting, essentially, like reconnaissance. You know.
I see what you mean.
Not like. Oh, go ahead. You can.
I think it's more about curation, like you said.
Okay,
before.
that's a better word.
Yeah.
That's a better word. It's almost like foraging, like what Joe would do, where he goes out, and then the whole tribe is doing what they're doing, but he goes out and he like forages and curates, and then brings it back.
Yeah, like aesthetic discernment.
100%.
Yeah.
And I feel like
we should wrap this up.
Yeah. That was the last thing I wanted to say. This has been a dope conversation.
Yeah.
I love you, bro. Like, for real.
I love you too, man.
For real. Oh, let's do the. Yeah. Yeah. This is going in the hole. This is going in there somewhere. But sick. All right. Signing off. You about to say something?
Peace.
All right. Damn, that was great. Your camera is robust, man.
Yeah.